Hey Gadget Groupies, kicking off another FFC vlog. These are the video blogs shot using the front-facing cameras found on the various phones and tablets and laptops that we get to review here on Some Gadget Guy. And this episode is being shot on the Lumia 950, the front-facing camera on the newest flagship phone from Microsoft. And I'm happy to see right off the bat that we're shooting a higher resolution video than any previous Lumia to date. Lumia cameras used to be locked at 720p, kind of like the iPhone still is, but now we've got this weird 2K video that we can create. It's higher than HD resolution, but not quite quad HD. Still, that's a tremendous improvement over where we were shooting for those of you that are interested in things like vlogging from your smartphones. And smartphone cameras have been a very popular topic on my YouTube channel. While I still like to review everything about our gadgets, the videos that seem to track the most for me are my camera reviews. So much so that I wrote a book. I've been getting a number of requests to do tips and tricks videos or blog posts, things to help people get better results out of their smartphone cameras. And every time I would sit down to try and write something or shoot a video, I would keep expanding on various topics. So my book is available to purchase now. It's called Take Better Photos, Smartphone Photography for Noobs, and you can find it through the Kindle ebook store. In the next couple months, I'm going to be moving it over to Google Play Books too. I don't have any current plans to move it over to iTunes or Apple Books or whatever they're calling it these days. So I think for right now, those are the two stores I'm going to focus on. I really didn't have any intention in writing a book, which is probably why I finished it. I sat down and I was going to do a blog post on depth of field. I've done a couple videos trying to explain the difference between sensor size, focal length, aperture, and how creamy or blurry our backgrounds can get. And as I started writing, the topic just sort of kept growing. And so to explain depth of field, I also needed to explain focal length. And to explain focal length, I also needed to talk about sensor size. And to talk about sensor size, I also needed to touch on the topic of aperture and the size of the hole, the iris that lets light through. And all of these things just kind of kept rolling into each other, where I would go off on a tangent to explain some part or some other photography term before I could get back to the whole point, which was I was going to talk about depth of field again. And so then I thought to myself, well, maybe this could be like a series of blog posts, like a photography blog, mini series on somegadgetguy.com. And after I got to around 30 pages of written text, single spaced on in Microsoft Word, I kind of realized, like, it doesn't even make sense for this to be a series of blog posts. So maybe I can accomplish this as a video. And then I thought about the amount of video I would need to shoot to properly describe all this stuff. I'm not really sure people are going to sit through and watch as any kind of contiguous video series. Even if I chop them up into really little pieces, that's kind of still a difficult reference to tap into. Like, you can't just go to my YouTube channel, pick episode 37 of Juan's photography series, get that little snippet of information, then jump back out again. So I took what I had started with and I kind of reformatted it and I kind of reflavored it. And then I decided, let me just tackle photography as sort of an umbrella or global subject. I didn't really want to tackle this from some kind of, advanced photography topic discussion. I think a lot of us, we agonize over our smartphone purchases because we want the best. We want the best screen and the best processor, the best RAM, and of course the best cameras. But when you're not backing up that hardware with a little education in light and composition, then I think a lot of people get disappointed in those upgrades because they're shooting the same styles of photos, they just have a better camera to shoot with. That doesn't mean that their photography is really going to get any better. You can give someone the best tools in the world, but if they're still backing it up with crummy technique, then they're not going to be impressed by the output of any camera. And over the last couple of years, I've become a staunch advocate for content creation via consumer electronics. The cameras that used to be bolted onto our phones 5 years ago were cameras born out of necessity. Like, we have to put a camera on a phone and we know it's going to be terrible, but maybe in a pinch it can kind of help you out. If you can't get to your proper camera, you can't get to your nice camera, you can sort of take a good picture with your phone. And I definitely don't believe that's true anymore, as our phones have become really stinking good content creation devices. In fact, over the last 2 years, I'd be hard pressed to find more than 3 or 4 smartphone cameras at any price point that I thought were truly terrible cameras. Cameras that actually got in the way or impeded your ability to express yourself artistically. On top of that, even if you've got a camera that has decent hardware but shoots almost full auto, I still feel a little education about light, a little education about composition can really help you take your photography up a notch. Even if you have a camera that shoots full auto and you understand what's happening with light and reflection and shadows, you can get much better results out of that camera even without being able to control every single little setting on your phone. And for those of you who do have cameras that allow you to control every single little setting on your phone, I think you'll find that there are some tips and tricks that can really launch up what you're trying to accomplish from a mobile device. I really wanted this to sort of hit the spectrum of people that might be interested in what their phones can do. So if it's just something as basic as you want to take better snapshots of your family and friends when you're out at holiday parties, or if you're trying to improve other content, like maybe you're producing your own blog and you want to improve the quality of the photos for your blog, all the way up to people that are really starting that journey on trying to express themselves artistically and trying to find inspiration for what style of photography might be right for them. We try and tackle a lot of those conversations, even though the book is a little on the shorter side. And all of the photos in the book were taken from a number of different cameras, as I wanted there to be good examples of what we could do with smartphone cameras, but then not to fall into the trap of making this sort of overly weighted towards one manufacturer. This is not an iPhone book. This is not an Android book. This is not a Samsung Galaxy book or an LG book. This is not a Windows Phone or a BlackBerry book. This is a photography book. So I've gotten a number of questions about where this book came from, so I thought I'd take a minute on video to talk about the inspiration behind me actually sitting down to write this thing. Again, I think if I had set out to write a book, I never would have finished it, but because I kept tricking myself into thinking, well, this is just going to be 6 blog posts instead of 5, it allowed me to keep writing without that pressure of like, oh, you're writing a book now, you must finish it. And people have been curious as to whether this means I'm going to continue producing tips and tricks videos, if I'm still going to be working on the camera reviews the way that I am. All of that's going to stay the same. I'm still trying to help educate people through any media that they might be able to find of mine. And I'm really looking at the book as being a way to sort of use it as a platform for building further discussion. And it's not to say that I won't be updating the book as new technologies come out. In fact, I had to stay very technology light. So there's not a lot of discussion about specific technologies or specific phones, because as I was writing those chapters, things were changing. Like I had a whole series on LG phones that was written before the V10 came out. So when the V10 came out, I had to change all of that. And with the iPhone from the 6 to the 6S, the Galaxy phones, all of those things sort of delayed my ability to finish the book. And I realized, you know what, this can't be a book about technology. So I backed off a lot of that stuff, but that doesn't mean I won't be adding to this tome over time. As future updates, we'll be discussing a little bit more things like the philosophy behind mobile photography. I talked about this a lot on a previous podcast where you know, we like to throw these adages, these witty sayings around, like, oh, the best camera is the camera you have on you. And that's true to a point, but there are times where even if you have a camera with superior optics and you've got your smartphone, that the smartphone might be the right tool for the job over the nicer camera. Recently, in sharing photos of my daughter with family and friends, there have been plenty of times where my phone was really the better tool over my mirrorless or DSLR shooters. And that's what brings us to this day and age now, where there are tons of people out there who the only camera they will ever own are the ones that are bolted onto the back of their phones, which means we really do need to treat these gadgets with the proper respect. These are the gadgets that people are going to use to preserve their memories, to document important happenings in their lives. We can't continue to act like they're compromised gadgets and we use them just because we don't want to cart around other things. So folks, I hope you'll check out my book, Take Better Photos, Smartphone Photography for Noobs. It's $3.99 on Amazon, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. There are links to buy it on somegadgetguy.com and below every single video that I produce moving forward. And if you do buy the book, I hope you'll give it a review on its Amazon page, just kind of help spread the word on good gadget discussion. And just a reminder that this vlog was shot using the front-facing camera on the Microsoft Lumia 950. I gotta say, I'm super impressed. This is a remarkably improved video quality from Microsoft over anything that we had on previous Nokia Lumias. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more rambling vlogs like these. And I would not be able to continue producing on this channel if you all weren't out there supporting it, either by hitting the fan funding, shopping via all of the affiliate links down below my videos for Amazon and Loot Crate and Audible, the Audible trial, or by buying my book that we've been talking about this whole time. And of course, sharing my videos is always greatly appreciated on your favorite social services like Twitter and Reddit and Facebook and the Googles Plus, so please keep bringing more cool people to the party. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next vlog.